Hello. So, as promised, a tour of downstairs fiber equipment. I'm just going to run through everything quickly and then get back into each one. So, biggest thing, this floor loom is a 4-shaft counterbalanced loom, and it's a barn frame loom. I don't know how old it is, but based off of some information on the reed it came with, I believe that it is at least as new as 1938. Did a little bit of sleuthing there. And then there is this antique Saxony wheel, also unknown on the date. I believe there might be a date on the bottom of it, but that might just have been when someone bought it. There's, I think, a name and 1960 something on the bottom, but based on its construction, I would believe it's kind of older than that. There's this, which is a simple Ashford Kiwi 1. This cabinet sewing machine, this is an electric machine, I believe from the 60s or 70s, especially with the wood paneling. Date unknown besides that. Working on identifying this, figuring out what on earth it is. I think it might be a Fleetwood. It's made in Japan. It's heavy as fuck. It's like made out of steel and it swings up out of this cabinet. And then there is the Singer treadle, which probably 1916. I'll get a little bit more into that, but yeah, so it is in this big gorgeous cabinet with drawers and the treadles hiding down in here. So yeah, I guess, excuse me, I'll get more into this machine right now, I suppose, while I'm over here. Firstly, I just want to show you some of like the very beautiful details that are on it. This is like the Singer manufacturing seal. There's all this like, well, there's the serial number. There's all of this gorgeous, it's a little messed up in some spots, but like painting and design, the Singer Manufacturing Co. thing. And honestly, this part over here is my favorite. This metal plate that's just like so pretty. So 1916 believed, because in part, got the manual in here. It's falling apart a little bit, but it's in really good shape. So in part because the manual says 1916. But something that's interesting is that if you look at the picture in here, that is obviously quite different than like what this looks like. It's a much bigger cabinet. It has like the extending table. Well, I suppose this one does too, but it doesn't have a Singer on the back of the treadle like this one does, and a couple of other things. And then there's also, I don't know where it is at the moment, but it's a metal ribbon or elastic threader. Maybe it's in this box of feet. These are all of the incredible weird feet that came with it. Like look at this. What on earth? But it's incredible, you know? Like, it's amazing, but what is this? It actually says in the manual what each thing is, but I wonder if it's like, whoa, they're so beautiful and intense. There's also a tiny little wrench. Oh, is this it? Nope, that's another foot. Okay, I actually don't know where it is. I'm not gonna keep searching, but yeah, there's this little thing, and it says Exhibition, California, 1915. And so someone suggested to me actually that maybe what it is it's like a prototype exhibition machine before these were released in 1916. Which, huge if true, that would be super cool, that this is like a very unique and extra special machine. It's already extra special to me just because like it's amazing. It works. Like, it's over 100 years old and it works. And like, to me, that is incredible. Yeah, it has this like table flap that is covered in stuff right now. But yeah, there's this piece of leather, as far as I can tell, is still new. Or not new, but original. And yeah, it connects down to the side. You're not gonna be able to really see the mechanisms, but yeah, the treadle's back there. It's too dark. But there's also a set of cabinet doors you can just barely see. Actually pops open, so you can like let some light in that way. But yeah, this is what I have sewn a couple things on. And the treadle's just amazing. I wish I had something I could like sample right now. And then this lamp is just doing a lot of work to light things. But yeah, and part of the like theory around why it's in such good shape is my partner's grandfather, this is wild, was actually a nuclear physicist who worked on the Manhattan Project, like crazy. And like very meticulous personality. Like you maybe kind of have to be for that. But I guess, yeah, his mom, Pearl, was like very similar personality wise, and that is kind of a bit of the theory around like why this is so well kept. And I have a ton of buttons and different things. I guess she didn't believe in zippers, like didn't believe that they would work properly, and so just did like button flies or like hook and eyes on everything. So I have like a zillion buttons and a zillion hook and eyes. And then like there's just some like tools and things over here. I keep my iron nearby. I've kept all of my needles in an Altoids tin for years. This is actually my mom's tomato pincushion that I've just co-opted. And Body's hanging out here, some Taylor's chalk. I'm planning on trying to do, it's going to be more of the equivalent of like a muslin, of this raglan dress. It's just like cotton shirting. And my Carters are down here. I recently put tennis wrap on them to see if that might help make them more comfortable to use. This is just the extra. And then this is the, I think, Clune Forest I was talking about, and some of the waist wall. Getting back to this mystery, so I should say, amazingly, incredibly, everything in this space was given to me, with the exception of this one. And ironically, this is the only one that doesn't currently work. But I paid only $15 for this. Found it on like Facebook Marketplace. And yeah, so there's this broken off G. Fox & Co. Like tag. And that was a big department store in Hartford, Connecticut. So I've tried looking into like the catalogs for them to see if I can find anything. And then there's a serial number, I think like along the edge, like if you were to tilt this up. And then there's also this little precision built made in Japan on the side. And so I found some that look similar to this online, but nothing that looks exactly like it. And so from what I understand, it's likely a Fleetwood, and it's likely kind of like a Singer clone. I think this mostly started in like in the 50s, but maybe earlier. Basically, like companies, like Singer was dominating, and so you had to kind of like make these fake singers and like slap a label on them. It's like this whole thing. So on one hand, it may be a good sign because it may have like Singer parts in it. Like I said, it's crazy heavy. It's like definitely like the entire thing's made out of metal. The only thing is there is like this falls open all the time because the hinge is like a little broken, which I don't think is really going to impede its work too much. And it does, so I will say, it does work. It is electric. However, even with the pedal all the way down, it goes at like a snail's pace, and I know it's not meant to do that. So at least it like turns on and works. There's some hope for it. But yeah, it's got some like cool stitch things. I don't know. Also, I had remembered that this zigzagged. I suppose there's something zigzag-like on there. That's the only trouble with this Singer, is it's only straight stitch. So it would be great to have a machine that can do some other stitches, which is part of why I'm so keen to like get this working. Also right now when you use it, kind of smells like, I mean, it smells like old electronics, but kind of like when a motor is like burning out a little bit, which is why I don't really try to mess with it much. Usually just kind of sits here as a table that we put stuff on. There's not a lot for me to say about the QE1. It works really well. Also the lighting in this corner is kind of bad, but something that's kind of nice is that it folds up. There's this little leather, and when the flyer is flat like that, it fits perfectly underneath the table over here, which makes it great to store. And yeah, I really don't have complaints about this. I use it all the time. The momentum on the double treadle can be a bit much sometimes, but otherwise I really like it. And then back to this. So as you can see, I have a spin in progress on it. This is from Little Laurel fibers, and yeah, it's this really pretty kind of like minty olive yellow. I think I showed my little sample in my other video. So I've had to do some funky little repairs to this. Mostly there's some like not super graceful leather that's just holding this on. And then also holding the footman to the treadle. There's a little leather loop I put in. And thankfully, this treadle was repaired by my partner's dad. What had happened is there's like a pin that goes into the leg on each side. This actually, it slides out sometimes. Not enough to like break it, but one of them was snapped off. And so he fixed it, and it like works great now. Don't know if I can find, oh, actually it's right on top. There's a splinter off here, which means that, as it currently is actually, the drive band will fly off at random times, which is very unhelpful. And actually, it was doing great for like months. And then I went to use it the other night, and it flew off, and I just got frustrated, so I stopped. Because, yeah, I think I may just get a synthetic band. I've just been using warping cotton, but yeah, it's just not working for me. But I've been working really hard on trying to do really even bobbins. I'm like working my way back this way. There are a couple of hooks missing off the flyer, one of which is my fault because I was trying to open these up a little bit more. They were really bent down, and they are very rough in spots. I ended up using a jeweler's file to make them a bit better, and as you can see, the bobbin has needed some sophisticated cardboard repair work as well. So yeah, basically the bobbin didn't have an end on it, and so it would get to a point where it would fall off and get caught in this space, which is really bad. So the biggest problem with this is I just have one bobbin, and I either need to have bobbins custom made, or I did see if an Ashford double drive could fit in, and it can, but only if you saw off the cap on one end. And I'm just trying to debate whether or not that's like worth it, and just putting cardboard caps on them like I do to this, or if I should just get them custom made. But yeah, I think the only thing left to really say is to talk a little bit more about this loom, which is just like an incredible machine to be in my life. It's this gorgeous like red wood. The heddle hook I got at Rhinebeck actually got in, I don't remember what wood it is, but it's to match this. And yeah, so it's got a new reed. It's a little shorter than the original, but I just decided not to do a custom one. So it's the stainless steel reed in this one. And yeah, there's some really cool stuff happening on the sides here. This very cool gear. And then this one, which I don't know if I can quite do it, but basically there's this stick that comes out and you would like advance it with the stick and then just let it rest back in here. But yeah, this thing it's a beast. I mean, it's massive. It's taking up so much space here, but yeah, this weaver had passed away, and her husband was looking to give her looms away, and this is the last one, and it ended up being perfect, just perfect. So it feels a bit intimidating because I'm very new to weaving, but it also feels very special. And she was Jewish. I'm not Jewish. I'm wondering if anyone who is Jewish might know what this is and be able to tell me a little bit more about it. I asked if he wanted it, and he said no. But I didn't know if this... and I say this in part because a lot of her weaving was Judaica, and that seemed to be a very big part of her life. So, yeah, if anyone has any idea about that, I would love to know. And let's not trip over a spinning wheel. And I think that's kind of the end of my little tour. But yeah, it's been... I mean, this has just been in the last year that all these things have come into my life, and that's been just like amazing, such a blessing, and makes me feel just very connected to like my craft, and it just makes me feel like, I don't know, like I'm doing something right somehow, or something like that. But that all of these like beautiful machines have come into my care. It just makes me feel more excited to make things, like more excited to just take advantage of the access that I have to these machines, and take good care of them and make lots of stuff with them. So yeah.